Are we good now? Sorry. We'll call our budget meeting to order. Again, we'll thank everybody for being here on this rainy day. We'll ask God to bless our meeting. We'll ask Dr. Bob to do the pledge, and we'll go from there, okay? We'll bow our heads, please. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity that we have to be conducting county business. We ask you, God, to bless every decision we make for the betterment of our people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Dr. Bob.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Robbie, you want to get us started with our cash and fund balance, please?
Yeah, I'm going to call roll real quick since
Oh,
we're
yeah,
a couple
okay.
short. Commissioner Bowles absent. Commissioner Vandergriff. Commissioner Denenberg absent. Commissioner Wandell.
Here.
Commissioner Foster.
Here.
Commissioner Smallridge.
Here.
Commissioner Beauchamp. And Commissioner White.
Here.
So we have two absent. Okay. Cash and fund balance for ending November 30th, 2022. The general fund, restricted funds are at 1.1 million, committed funds 1.6 million, assigned funds 3.7 million, and unassigned fund balance is at 9.5 million for a total fund balance of $16,023,108 and a cash balance of $12,159,761. For 141 fund, total fund balance 13.1 million, cash 14,584,279. Any questions on the fund balance report?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I got a question. On the cash, from this time compared to last year, we're down, I don't know, 800,000 or so?
Yes.
750. What?
Probably a lot of less sales tax. You know, it's just we're continually doing a little less than sales tax. And honestly, we haven't collected as much property tax as we had the first 3 months last year in this fiscal year, but I expect this month, the next 3 months, we'll catch up.
I just want to keep our eye on it. I know
Yes.
you are, but,
Yeah.
you know, the answer you just give me, I think about it, and COVID was last year, so not a lot
Right.
of money being made. I think for it to be down this year kind of concerns me going forward, so I'd like for us to keep an eye on this, because you know, we seem to be spending money pretty freely, and I just want to kind of keep an eye on the cash that's coming in, cash trends, and but I appreciate it. Still good. I mean,
Yes.
it's not bad. It's just
Yes.
about 800,000 off from last year.
I agree. And I watch that every month.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, Robbie, you're not alarmed about that?
Not really, no. One thing I do know that where there is some money that we haven't transferred to 101 yet for cash, we do our workers' comp payment every year, July 1st. If we pay it by so many days. We still have EMS funds from ARP. We haven't moved those funds yet. That's 280,000, I think. That still goes in the general fund, so there's
Okay.
300,000
Okay.
right there. So we have some money that hasn't happened yet. We're still trying to work through how to do all that with the ARP funding. So that's one move that will happen, that could have already happened and will happen soon. So, but yes, I'm not that concerned, not yet, no.
Okay. Okay.
Plus, like I said, property taxes come in December. A lot of people want to pay their taxes before December 30th. We should have a really big month this month, and January and February, because taxes are due, you know, by the 28th. So
Okay.
next 3 months, we'll have a lot of revenue.
Okay, good deal. Thanks, sir.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Robbie, how do we decide where to park that cash? Do we bid, do different banks bid on that?
Well, trustee's office is our banker, and Regina, she invested in several different things. She even came to commission a couple of years ago, year and a half, and asked for a newer investment, and it was approved, so she's using it now. So I think, and we talked to her the other day, we met with our Cumberland Securities, and there was even another suggestion made from short-term, was it not bond? T-bills that are paying more, and she was checking into that, so we invested.
And the interest from that investment goes right into our general fund.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Or based on who has the cash, yes. It goes into each fund at the end of the year. We move, it goes all into general fund, then we move investment interest out to each fund based on their percentage of cash, if that makes any sense. Each fund collects some interest
Okay,
because each fund has cash. So it can't all go in the general fund, but.
okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Okay, sales tax report. This month, we were pretty much even, 3.6 million, and the Anderson County portion was up just a little, $3,000, but it, the green line had been under the whole year, and that's the first time we caught up right there, kind of the same even, but, sales tax, like I said, it's just a little bit lower this year, and, which is to be expected, I think. We're finally leveling off a little on sales tax.
Chairman, but we're still projecting more than we budgeted.
Budget, we are, because our numbers were coming in so much, so high, we never budgeted the full amount. Each year we'd up that a little, but we're finally realizing what our budget is. So, yeah, so we're still good.
Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
I also put in here an ARP, ARPA projects, updated from the last meeting when we approved a couple more projects. In the revenue loss, the 10 million, we still have 3,787,713 left. And in other eligibilities, the 4.9 million, there's 1,881,278 remaining for the allocation, for a total of $5,668,992. But it lists all the projects that's been approved so far, what we spent year to date, like the last one, but just this one is updated through November. And that's also on our website. Okay. Any questions about any of those three reports?
I got one question, sorry. I know we're still probably with the grant coordinator, still kind of getting his feet wet, but with the remaining restricted funds, not the revenue loss, are we in that process of looking for some grants that would match, that we could use that for a match? I know, the money can only be used on infrastructure-based projects, so I didn't know if we were in that process where we could, which had still not had, we got till 2024 to designate that, but just didn't know if we were looking at trying to tag team that to extend that money farther, because a lot of times there are infrastructure grant money out there. I just didn't know if we.
Yeah, he's already exploring those opportunities for that, so, in fact, we were working with the highway department on that particular opportunity. That already expired, but yes, he's got his search.
Randy, can you speak a little louder for us old people?
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just saying that, John he was asking about the grant coordinator.
Yes.
We should look into those kind of things, where we can leverage the rest of our ARP money, and the answer is yes. He's actively looking at new grants, in fact, looked at two today, so.
Okay, good. Thanks, sir. Any other questions?
Okay, moving into the budget amendments. 1 through 3 are transfers not requiring commission's approval. I gave you all a new copy of number 2, and on the email I sent you, it was correct, just the hard copy was incorrect. Any questions? I can be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Motion approved.
Got a motion
Do
and
all
a
three.
second?
As a group, we can do it as a group, correct?
Got a motion to approve it as a group? Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go ahead.
Okay, number 3 is an appropriation from the school department. It's increasing revenue, $150,000, and increasing,
That's number 4.
that's number 4, yes, sorry. It's appropriation number 4, excuse me. And increasing payroll codes 116, 163, 171, and benefits for $150,000. It's to appropriate funds for special education fees for services, for stipends to crisis management, restraint training, participants, and school-based special education department chairs.
Motion approved.
Got a motion to approve. We got a second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is this a little late in the year for this type of a budget here?
For a
For the
revenue?
schools, for the special ed?
No, not really. I mean, they probably will let these funds carry over into next year. It's possible. I haven't seen the contract or anything yet, but it's possible that that's what can happen.
Okay. Number 5.
Number 5 is a transfer from payroll for the circuit court clerk Rex Lynch for $10,000 from part-time to overtime to transfer of OP cases from Chancery Court to General Sessions Court.
Got a motion to approve?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Dr. Bob, any discussion? And I understand this is for the extra part-time help because of the transfer of those cases from Chancery to Circuit Court.
The general session schools.
General Session, I'm sorry, yeah. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any disapprove? Motion carries.
Okay, number 6 is an appropriation from the county clerk for $5,000, increasing business tax processing fee and for service contracts to cover their current service contracts through the end of the fiscal year.
Need a motion.
Motion approved.
Got a motion to approve? Second?
Second.
Dr. Bob? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Number 7.
Number 7 is from the Sheriff's Department. It is an increase in vehicle maintenance for $1,413.34 and an increase in insurance recovery. And as you can see, the second page, we've already received the check for this amount. So we're moving that money from insurance recovery back into their vehicle maintenance code.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion? Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Motion carries. Number 8.
Okay, number 8 is also an appropriation from the Sheriff's Department. Last month, if you remember, we approved funding for 911 dispatchers' performance bonus. This is to cover the benefits, Social Security, retirement, and Medicare, the additional cost for that payment.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 9.
Number 9 is from the library. It's from Clinton Library. It's for $6,841.46 from their restricted code to periodicals, memberships, books, and media for collection and data processing equipment, of which $2,023 will be refunded back from the state for a grant.
Motion to approve?
Got a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Robbie.
Robbie, 370,000, that's in their reserve?
Yes, sir. For all the libraries, yes.
All right, thank you.
All 4 of them. They each have their own reserve, but I just
that's
we
the total.
included all of them in one, yes.
That's the total. All right, thank you. Number 10.
Is from the property assessor's office in their restricted fund audit reserve code, $25,000, moving it to legal services. To cover legal services for appeals, they are starting to get a few of those that we're questioning, so.
I went by to see Johnny, but he was out of town. Is this for Isham or somewhere?
He came by and talked to me about it, but he didn't mention anything specific. He just said and if they don't use this money, it'll roll back in this reserve, but.
Okay. Need a motion to approve the 25,000. Got a motion. Got a second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
And they have $102,000 in that code also, so they have plenty of money.
What'd you say, Ron?
They have $102,000 in
Yeah.
that audit reserve code.
So if they don't use it on legal services.
It rolls back into that restriction, yes. Yeah. It won't roll into the fund balance, it rolls back into that code.
Number 11.
And the last one is from the Register of Deeds, also using their data processing reserve fund, $15,250 into other contracted services for book restoration with digital imaging and installation of a digital scanner. And they also have a pretty healthy reserve fund
Yes.
there.
Motion approved.
Got a motion to approve. Got a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
It's the shortest budget meeting, and
Mark it down.
I do have a couple things to add. I don't know, well, there might be new business, if you want to go ahead and do that. New business. or
New
old?
business.
I don't have any.
New business. Old business.
The only follow-up question I have is on, I know last month we had talked about the fire truck, putting that in the committee, then it was gonna go to operations, and I think it came to commission, but
It's on the operations agenda this month.
there we go, thanks.
I looked at that, it is on there. The mayor put it on her portion. So that will be on their agenda this month.
Any other old business?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Robbie, how's, if we sell the property for the tourism,
Mhm.
how's that work? Where's the money go? How's that gonna transfer?
If when we sell that property, if we receive a check, we will receipt it in the tourism fund in a revenue code. And it'll stay there unless she brings a budget amendment to this committee, to budget committee, then commission to be approved for, to move to a different code, a code in her department or whatever. Like if she wanted to use it to purchase the new building or construction, whatever, then it would have to go through a budget amendment to be moved.
And then, and all this is hypothetical, but I'm just curious, if there's not enough money there to build a new building, what would be the next step there?
She would, have to ask for a loan. I don't know. She has $600,000 fund balance. From what I'm hearing and understanding, I haven't seen a total amount. She has a healthy fund balance of 600, I'll just give you the exact number, 606,121. And if they make 600-something thousand off this, she'll have 1.2 million.
Okay.
No, but there's $200,000 in the, she has 406 in restricted and 200 in assigned. We've moved money from restricted to assigned, I don't know. It's the same, it's 600,000, that's fund balance. But yeah, she'll have a 1.2 million, in one, part of it in revenue, part in fund balance. She would have to move both amounts out, so yeah. It would need approval from commission.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
To follow up on what Tracy was saying, the sale of the building, that monies will be dedicated,
For tourism.
not, for tourism, but for a new building,
Not unless you all dedicate it for that purpose, or move it for that purpose. I look at these as separate transactions. Like, if you vote to sell the building, then there's $600,000 that goes in a code. She has to come back, ask to move that money. There would be a contract too through purchasing, I'm assuming, right, Catherine, for the new?
well, I'm assuming that it will be for a new building.
Oh, it would, yeah. That's her intent, yes, sir. I'm just
Yeah.
saying commission has to approve that.
Yeah.
That's-
Yes, sir.
I sit on the tourism board, for City of Rocky Top, but the money that's going from the sale of building is to go towards a new building. But as we saw last commission meeting, if they decide not to pursue that, that money has to go somewhere. And let's say the end of the fiscal year would run out, it would just go back into the.
It would
tourism
roll into fund
It
balance.
doesn't, that money has to go in tourism fund because it
Yes.
was paid for by tourism.
That is correct.
money, correct?
Yes.
That's my understanding from the board. So, but yes, that money, the whole point was to sell a building to buy a new building.
Yes.
And do that purchase and that kind of thing. So that is the point of selling that.
Okay.
Hope that, I was just trying to get a little bit of clarity from our board meeting.
That's the way we all understand it, correct? That's not Christmas present money or nothing. Well, really,
No, sir.
that's the way I understood it was gonna be.
Right.
Any other new business?
I do have a couple of things to mention.
I have
Okay.
something on old business.
Okay, let's go. Any more new business? Old business right now. Mayor, come.
I was just gonna give you an update, 'cause I'm going to update operations. On your ARP list, you have $500,000 in progress for the Tennessee Emergency Broadband. Last month, you authorized, the commitment of one of the properties being held as a delinquent tax property by Anderson County. You authorized that commitment, as a potential match for Highland Communications, and then you authorized me to negotiate with them. Danny from planning, we went out and, to the property yesterday. Basically, if we will clean up the property, there was a house there that was burned. There's a foundation left, so we're gonna get some quotes on cleaning that up, removing that foundation. If we do that, remove some fence, then, the arrangement will be for a 40-year lease with a renewal that will be considered the full match. So we don't yet have that amount, what it's gonna cost us to clean the property up, because it was sold at a delinquent tax auction purchased by Anderson County. We would be paying Rocky Top the outstanding delinquent taxes that were owed on that, so that will be a small cost. But anyhow, you'll be able to put the majority of that amount back into your column to be used again. So,
Good, good.
yep.
Chairman, I have a question, Mayor.
Yes.
Will you please, when you guys go, once you get that, because there was an old sewer line there, so we would like to cap that tap. So
Okay,
can
we
get
were,
that-
we were out there with Highland Engineers, and we were talking about that. We saw a line in a big,
Yeah,
I guess,
so it goes to a manhole, and it kind of cuts
across the creek.
So
Yes.
just when we all start to dig or clean up that foundation, I don't know where that tap is, and there should be a water one.
Okay.
So if y'all just contact us, we can come out there and mark everything.
Yep.
But we would like to at least get
And
that
we are
tap.
gonna have to get like a survey just for that reason, to be able to know, like, because if you're familiar,
Yeah,
obviously,
I
with
know
the property,
Right.
there's a fence, we don't know what that fence line is on and those trees are on, so we'll just get a quick boundary survey, clean it up, but we'll communicate with you before we get any of that
Yeah.
done. Yep.
Any other questions for the mayor? Thank you, man.
Yeah, I got one,
Yeah.
since we're talking about ARP. Mayor, do you got any updates on that Claxton sewer?
No, I don't. I need to. I know that I've gotten so like as far as between CUB and ACWA, I do not. We're working on that comprehensive plan with Cannon and Cannon. We've processed a couple of invoices, so I know they're ticking through that project, but I have not gotten a status update yet.
Okay.
I'll try to get you something by full commission.
I think I was talking about the other one, though. I'm on the wrong sheet. That'd help. me if I got-
$30,000.
Yeah,
Yes, so that's kind of a tag on to the, I don't know if we did that out of the countywide assessment for water and sewer planning that's right above it. It's the line above the Claxton sewer line.
yeah.
So what we're doing is we tack that on to that particular project. So it'll come out with that countywide assessment for water and sewer planning. So what we did is so that's like a full assessment. We're gonna have all the water, sewer, and then the 30,000 there, what we put in, and I can't remember because I don't have it in front of me. I can't remember the terminology, Commissioner. It's
Yeah, I thought.
for cameras, and there is some area where there's that old legacy sewer over there, and neither utility knows what's what. So they got, I can't remember the terminology, but there's, yes. So they're doing that and actually doing physical assessment of where it's all located.
So the countywide is in progress, but the Claxton is pending.
Yes, it's pending, but it's rolled into that same.
Part of it.
Yes, so it's Cannon and Cannon, and what we did is we plussed up the Cannon and Cannon to include that extra Claxton work.
So they'll do a good job. I like Cannon and Cannon.
Any other
Thank you.
questions for the mayor? Thank you, ma'am. Robbie, old business?
Yeah, I just have a couple I don't have any more old business, but just a couple comments about next month. So normally I send the agenda out on Monday, but that's January 2nd, the holiday. You'll get it the next day on the 3rd, which is Tuesday. And also next month, I'll be introducing the fiscal year 23-24 budget. So that's when the fun begins.
Time rolls right on.
Right, it seems like we just did this, but normally I wait till February, but with a lot of new commissioners, I want to go ahead and get started and just just introductory materials, the calendar, guidelines, we'll maybe talk about some things, but that's coming next month. Just wanted to let y'all know that.
Agenda on the 4th, meeting on the 5th.
You'll get the agenda on the 3rd, meeting on the 5th.
Are we done?
Nope, one more announcement.
Oh.
Judge has an announcement for you.
You all are invited to, general sessions 1 tomorrow from 8:30 to 10:30. We're gonna have breakfast. So come and celebrate Christmas early.
Are you gonna be dressed as Mrs. Claus?
I'm gonna be Santa Claus.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
very
Judge.
much.
Any other comments? Appreciate everybody coming, okay? We're adjourned.
We appreciate that. You guys thinking about it.